Everyone, today is Wednesday, August the 10th, 2022, and welcome back to another weather video. I know I took a month break off. It's because there's nothing to really talk about. It's not like I went on vacation or just was grounded or something like that. It was just I was off for that month because it was nothing to talk about. I mean, we only had heat and then afternoon thunderstorms, pop-up thunderstorms, and I just didn't want to talk about that like literally every single day or every other day. So finally, the tropics are starting to open up. The tropics are starting to get active, maybe again. I mean, on your screen right here, we have a 20% chance of seeing a cyclonic formation or a system trying to form in the next 48 hours. And then we have a 30% chance of seeing something um, seeing something form in the next 5 days. So that's at least some progress we're going to have with the tropics. I mean, we're in August now, so of course the tropics are going to get more active. We're approaching the peak of hurricane season this time next month, September the 10th. Next month, it will be the actual peak of hurricane season. So from now until September the 10th, we will see what will be happening in the tropics. Will the tropics get busy? I mean, a lot of hurricane forecasters in Colorado State University, which they do the hurricane forecast and they see how many storms are going to happen, if they're going to be major hurricanes, tropical storms. They still are expecting a very above average season for hurricane season, which is still, weird because, we're in August now. So things are starting to pick up. So we'll see. In terms of 5-day development, this area right here in this red kind of checkered area, yellow kind of checkered area is the 30% chance of seeing tropical development in the next 5 days. So it looks like, oh God, it looks like this will go to the north of the Windward Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and it looks like it's going to move mainly around the Bermuda area. I don't know if it's going to move, to the southeast, maybe curve to the northeast, because we do have troughs and ridges I'll show on the next slide that are mainly going to impact where this storm will go. And we'll see if it develops or not. So here's the GFS model for this particular storm, or how it's going to develop. So as we get into tomorrow, it looks like, according to GFS, it's not going to really develop. I mean, we have like a little area of disturbance over there in the Windward Islands area. So just to the east of the Windward Islands, Barbados, all those little islands in the Caribbean. And then as we get into Friday, it looks like it's going to dissipate, So the GFS really doesn't pick up this storm. I mean, the troughs and the ridges, the ridge does pick the storm up and moves it mainly into Bermuda. And then the moisture will get blocked by these fronts. So these fronts are going to pick up the moisture and basically, kick it off the coast. So if it does form maybe into a depression, it's not going to do anything. Maybe impact Bermuda, but then it's going to leave Bermuda real fast because these fronts coming off the coast, these cold fronts and these ridges are going to are going to move this storm off the coast. So we don't have to worry about this developing into a tropical depression. 30% chance. That's a decent chance, but in terms of the next 5 days, I don't think it's going to develop. Maybe an area of low pressure will impact, the northern Windward Islands, maybe the U.S. Virgin Islands, maybe bring some thunderstorms, some showers there, then Bermuda, but it's not going to impact the United States. And then we also have to talk about the temperatures. So here's the dew points on your screen. It has been hot this whole summer. It's been really hot, muggy, humid. I mean, that's expected. Summer is the hottest months of the year. But if you do want a relief from these hot temperatures, you can see these dew points are in the upper 60s and low 70s. That is a lot of moisture content in the air and a lot of just humidity and mugginess, doing this outside because it's so hot. But then as we get into the weekend, we'll finally get some relief. This is the dew points, not the temperature. So it's not going to be 50 degrees outside, on Friday. No. Or on Wednesday. Saturday. What am I talking about? And then as we get into Saturday, you see the temperatures, the dew points, get into the 50s and 60s, the low 50s, mid 50s in South Carolina, North Carolina, the low 60s into Georgia, North Georgia, maybe places in Mississippi, Alabama will be getting in the 50s. So that will be some much needed break from this heat, maybe a shot of some cooler air. We're getting closer to fall. Fall is next month. So, of course, we're going to think about that. But then after that, the temperature is going to go back up again. The dew points are going to go right back up into the 60s and low 70s. And then we'll go right back down as we get into the 18th. That's next Thursday. As we get into the 18th, the dew points will be going down to the 50s again. So that'll be great relief from all this heat. Temperatures in the upper 90s, upper 80s, and then the humidity adds, so it feels like 100 degrees outside. It's not even 100 degrees or close to 100 degrees. But that's mainly it. We will be dealing with some heat. For those of you who live in the North-Central U.S., we'll be dealing with some heat. Oh, God, what am I doing? In the North-Central U.S., let me pick this up. Uh-oh. I'll be back. All right, so those of you who live in the North-Central U.S., we'll be dealing with some very hot temperatures. We're talking about temperatures in the 100s, especially for those of you who live in Nebraska, Kansas, South Dakota, even Iowa, getting into the upper 90s and 100s. That's hot. And then same thing for your Friday, possibly getting up to the mid 100s, possibly hitting 110 degrees some places in South Dakota. So it's going to be very hot for those of you who live in the central U.S., in the northern plains, that area, very hot. Thankfully, we'll get a cool down as we get into the middle part of next week. So the temperatures will be going back down to the 70s and 80s. So that's very great news for those of you who live in the North-Central U.S. But anyway, that's it for today's video. The schedule is going to be off, for the rest of the year because, of course, the school year is about to start. So the schedule is going to be off. Hopefully, the videos will be coming soon. I hope that hurricane season will kind of pick up what's going on in the weather world because it's still kind of lackluster. We're still dealing with storms every day and heat, typical summertime weather conditions. But hopefully hurricane season does pick back up as we get into the rest of the year, especially next month in October. Thanks for watching this video for today. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.